Testing, testing. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? You can hear me? Good, good, good. Alrighty. Well, got a bit of liquidation tonight, this morning. So we're underneath yesterday's low, considerably underneath. Market is looking for the bid. Okay. Now, a lot of traders will look at this and go, man, I could have shorted 75.20 and covered 74.53, and then I would have got on my super yacht, blah, blah, blah. Most of you aren't going to be doing those kind of trades, okay? That's not what trading is. The market is now looking for a bid. Let me kind of explain to you what's going on and why it's going on. The move that we created that took us up from this 73.91 look below and fail up to 76.31 and then back down. The target is now 73.91. Okay? So this thing could fall easily another 50 points, right? Not saying that it will, but it could. Most people who've been trying to buy the dip all night have probably already blown up their accounts. So it's not even worth mentioning that. When a market loses a bid, what does that mean? You guys probably haven't heard that term, right? Anyone on this call, anyone heard the term the market has lost the bid? If you've been with me, you have. If you haven't been in my room, you haven't, right? If you've been in regular retail trading rooms, this kind of stuff you haven't heard. What happens is when a market is taken up the way it was over the last beginning of the month of June, okay? Month of June, we had a massive gap up, right? We had a massive gap up and it was a short position. That short position filled about 4 days ago or before the long weekend. Now, the buying that was here, in that gap, those buyers have realized now that price is on sale and they've dropped their buy orders. So I'll be looking for support in this area here. That's the area pre-move. When markets move up, usually what happens is markets move up. Let me show you. They'll build some sort of a support level and then they'll move higher, right? You'll see a support level build and then a move higher. So when we come back down, we'll come back into that support. Lately, this market has not been like that. If you go back and look at this market pre-COVID, you will see that it's a much different market than it is now. The ranges are huge. The moves are huge. And you can see there's just a position here. There's a little position here. But other than that, you get these huge moves. And these moves can retrace just as quickly as they move higher. Markets that are taken higher on short positions are not stable markets. That's why I always say, would a large buyer, if they knew that the market is taken up on a short position, Would a large buyer want to buy size up here? Well, not unless they were really on a really good drug binge. They're always going to wait until the market gets a better price, right? Remember, it's a market. So you're trying to get the best possible price for yourself and the people that you trade or invest for. That's why you don't buy these things. You wait until the market comes into an area where it starts going sideways, and then you buy it for the move higher. Okay, just to look below and fail, all that sort of thing. So right now we have a big red candle on the daily. We're looking for the bid. So that means, doesn't mean don't trade. What it means is now we're waiting to see where the buyers actually come in and start short covering. At some point they will, and here we are, right? We have massive single prints on the way down, right? Single prints on the way down are trapped longs, right? Just like we have trapped shorts on the way up, you have trapped longs on the way down. Okay, those are areas of supply. So when you come in and you want to short the market, those are areas that you would short and put your stop at the top of those single prints, right? This is very common. The old traders would say emotional selling. There's no emotional selling now. There's just forced liquidation because of margin calls, right? Oh, this is way too, I can't hang on to this. I'm long 100 points higher kind of thing, right? So let's go and see if we can find a nice balance zone for us to, right? Wait, see if the market puts on a balance zone here. Let's see if we start finding some kind of a balance here. This is the part where you just chill and relax. Yeah, Jerry, if you're on stream right now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So my guys are going, oh, I can't find a balance zone. As the French say, quelle surprise. Big surprise. You're not supposed to find a balance zone right now, right? The market's trying to find one, right? The market is trying to find its balance. Let it, right? This is the best time when you see, oh, there's a huge liquidation. It's going to mean there's good opportunity, right? So you should just chill and let the market find its bids. Just let it come in and find the bids. Just chill, right? There's no sideways right now. And everybody who thought, oh, there's a sideways here, they got destroyed. Oh, there's a sideways here, they got destroyed. This is very common in a liquidation, right? This is really, really common. Don't worry about it. Don't stress out. Just chill. Right? You can play around. You can look for a balance zone, right? You could definitely play around and look for a balance zone, right? And see if it works, right? Double it to the downside and see if that target works. Now, are you going to trade on this? No, right? So target is 73.91, and we can just use the levels on the downside. I haven't even looked at the news. What's the news cycle going on around there? Was somebody throw a missile out there or what? I don't see anything really right off the top of my head here. Korean stocks tumble 8% from record, triggering a trading halt. European stocks tumble, blah, 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 blah. Tech rally seen having been running, blah, 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 blah. News is all blah, blah, blah. It just means inventory, right? Oh, okay. And Iran walked away from the table. Okay, good. Right? It's Tuesday. Yeah. It's Tequila Tuesday. 241 tequila shooters. That's all it is. So let's see what kind of balance zone we have, if it is at all, if we look for the bid. Remember, when you wake up, like I wasn't up late last night. I went to sleep early, so I missed the Globex Open. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night and look at the screen, right? I haven't done that in a while. So when I woke up and I said, "Oh man, this thing's down like 80 points." Okay. It's going to be kind of a quiet, calm session, okay? We just wait for the large size traders to go, "Okay, I need to cover 10,000 contracts." And then, 30 or 40 other guys do, right? And let's see if London does the opposite, right? So London's going to open here in a couple of minutes. Have your coffee, chill out. What's up, Cisco? Dave's taking the dog for a walk. That's a smart thing to do. Just make sure you don't get attacked by any kangaroos. Alrighty. Where's the overnight point of control? I haven't even marked that off. Oh, it's down there. Okay. Let's grab that. This is a good liquidation. This is really good because at these market highs, the price action was getting kind of stale. Now we get a nice liquidation and we'll get some nice back and forth trading. This will be beautiful, right? This will be really nice. I love a good liquidation because, just think about it. Think of like you're a shopper. A liquidation means, oh, stuff's on sale, right? You get a really good sale. Okay. 3 sets of singles? Yeah, see, it's just coming off and coming off and coming off, looking for the bid. There's just no reason to even think about buying it, right? See, you saw the short covering here? You can see the size of it, right? And when that short covering lets go, boom, it drops. So now London's opening and we got another set of single prints, right? This is great for you guys who don't know how to watch the offer. This is really good. That's a double bottom. So there's a little bit of buying competition here, but let's see if it holds, okay? If it holds, we'll rotate all the way back up to 49. If it breaks, Just let it drop, right? Okay. See how you can see where the sellers are? Just watch the offer, right? See? Now we should try and break that overnight low. If that overnight low holds, we'll get rotation back up to 49, right? There you go. I just split the profiles. See? There you go. Just tagged a little short 45 half, and I'm covering at 43. Just on the micro, just to test the order flow a little bit to see. All right, I didn't think that poor low was going to hold. Just let it sell off. It's going to be a little unpredictable tonight, right? And that's okay, right? Hey, welcome, folks, on YouTube. Yes, it is Amazon Prime Day, Alibaba Day. It is. Everything's on sale, right? Oh, everything must go, right? I am selling ES contracts and I will not be undersold. Distribution, exactly, right? Or as they say in Vancouver, distribution. This is really good. This is beautiful liquidation. Next week will be month end. Next week, Monday is month end. So this allows everyone who was caught short in these crazy moves to come in and cover with some dignity. That's good. We'll keep a lot of funds from blowing up this quarter. Nice. Doing as nature intended. I see a little bit of where's the position? You look at those like June 6th, June 9th, 10th. In that area, you can see that there's like sort of like a 74.32. There's an area there, 74.30 to 32, that you can see the position underneath. Let me just draw that up 1 sec. There should be a seller at 49. Yeah, it's the end of the quarter, right? End of the quarter contract rollover. See if you go and draw a line here. Whoop, hang on. Just go and draw a line from the top of this cost basis. You could see that this was That was the inventory we took and sold higher. And now we've come right back into this area. See that? So now do we load the boat and go long? I don't know. I'll wait, right? Let's see if we can actually go up into these single prints and take that supply. See? So this is the first time tonight that we've actually gone back up into the single prints. Now it is at the lows of the market. But check that out. Look, we ran out of supply and in came the buying, right? There you go. That's change. You guys awake? That's the first time that's happened all night. That's something that you should be checking off your list. Does it mean that this is low? We don't know yet, but it's the first time that the market's gone back up and taken that supply. See, look, filled. Do you guys realize the significance of that? If you're not a market profile person, that's okay. Use this information that market profile people will give you. Okay. And the next resistance area is going to be just at 59. Now, I'm just drawing out these balance levels. I'm not sure if they're going to work. Let's see if they do. But you know where the sellers are going to be, right? You've had liquidation all night, so you know exactly where there's going to be inventory on the way down, on the way back up, right? Good. Be nice to see that point of control move down here on this sideways action and us to establish a position, right? I wouldn't be taking I mean scalp long, fine, right? If you were lucky enough. Here, let it go sideways and let's see if we can build out a proper balance zone. Okay? So let me just get rid of this stuff because it'll probably tilt you guys. Right? Let's see if this 51 to 57 works. Okay? Nice and relaxed. Just taking it easy. No big deal, just a little liquidation. There you go, Cisco. Did you grab that long? Is your next seller? Good stuff. So you got your sellers marked out now. You know that they're going to be here, here, definitely here, right? I'm using that low, and then these highs. Let's see if that balance works. When we get to 57, 57 and a quarter, they should stop. Oh, look, point of control move down. How fortuitous. There we go. Right now we're absorbing inventory. That's good. Good, good, good. So now what would be perfect is if we just went back and forth for like 2 or 3 hours, right? If we just get a nice balance zone and just go back and forth while the market cleans itself out, that'll be some nice trading. Okay. And that's what we're waiting for. We as retail traders, the biggest thing that you have to remember is we're waiting for the opportunity for us to do business in a way that doesn't put our head right in the alligator's mouth. You know what I mean? There's that seller. See how useful it is to know that there's a seller there at 55 and a quarter? Because if you were long 49.50, if you were long 47, you know there's going to be sellers there, right? The thing's been selling off all night, right? So, I mean, if you didn't think that there was going to be inventory as the market comes down, these dealers have to take it in. So they sold there before, they'll sell there again. Does that make sense? I repeat this every day about the top of the candles being where the sellers are. Does anyone in the room not understand this concept? This is probably the most important concept that you will ever learn in retail trading. It is the simplest, but it is the most important. If any of you in my trading room do not understand what I'm talking about, please let me know. If you're embarrassed to say you don't understand it, please direct message me, right? Because it is critical that you understand this. You can take your dojis and emojis and wicks and twix and take that and throw it all out. The top of the candle is where the sellers engage and compete and push price lower so they can capture the buying. Now, you guys don't understand what capture the buying means because you've never sold any size. But when you have 1,000 contracts for sale or 1,000,000 shares or whatever, you have other people selling size too and competing with you. You have to capture the buyer and turn that buyer's cash into your cash by selling them your inventory. That is how business works. So if you don't understand the concept of the top of the candle being where there's going to be resistance on the way back up, right? All of these candle tops, they're going to be sell orders. That is what we call inventory. That is what we call dealer inventory. So if I was working the desk at Citadel, right? Say I'm an algorithm and I'm on the way down from 74.67, I had to take in inventory. So when the market gets back up over 57, 58, 59, I am going to be a seller because I have inventory at that level that I must turn back into cash. This is the business. This is not a method of trading. This is not like trading fibs or trading EMAs. This is how business works, right? There are inventories that dealers have, and when you get back to certain levels, the dealer will sell their inventory so they can at least break even, right? So that is why we talk about top of the candle, bottom of the candle, right? Very simple. Now let's see if we find bids at 51. I'm looking for a look below and fail of 51. Let's see, right? Or does it just keep selling off lower and lower? Would you still consider this movement or past it too much time? So if those are single prints, right? If you could, there'll be bids there for sure. If they are single prints. So if you could tell me what day that is and what price level, I'd have to check on a TPO chart. 74, 73.20 to 40. And what day is that? Can't tell. And nothing is irrelevant until it's hit with order flow. This is one thing. Oh, okay, cool. Hope that makes sense. I would never dismiss a level. Right? A lot of people go, oh, that's an old level. You'd be surprised because of this market, how mechanical this market is, right? This market is insanely mechanical, very, very precise. Those levels will hold. Ah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, there'll be bids there, definitely. Yep. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's from 6 months ago. It doesn't matter it's 6 months from ago, David. What you want to do, now let me explain why. Okay? You guys got time? You want to hear this? We got 10 minutes, okay? Have you guys ever heard of something called a lookout bid? Do you guys know what a lookout bid is? A lookout bid in the old days is when I would take a market maker, right? We used to have this market maker called Impact Capital, right? And we used to call him Tupac. And say a stock was $5, right? And I wanted to see who's coming in to sell, right? Because market intelligence is the most important thing there is in the world. If you don't have market intelligence, you're dead. Especially as an institutional trader, if you don't have market intelligence, if you don't know what's going on in a market, if you think that what's going on in a market is random, you might as well just go be a janitor. There's just no way that you're ever going to be a trader. Okay? Sorry, I know that's harsh, but right. So you have a lookout bid, which means I will call I'll tell my trader, hey, go put two pack up on the bid at 5 and tell me what you see. So the market maker will go $5 bid for 100 shares. And when he gets hit and buys at $5, he'll go, Citadel hit me, right? They'll call me and they'll go, JJ, yeah, on this stock, ABCD stock or triple C or whatever it is, right? Like say this is the level. He'll go, hey, Citadel hit me at $5 with 10,000 shares. What do you want me to do? We'd say take it and stay or take it and drop, right? And get out of the way. So 10,000 shares, that's a $50,000 buy order. I'm like, F that. Buy 100 shares from the bastard and just drop. Let him hit the thing out, and then we'll buy it down here cheaper and then take it back up, right? Or what we would do is the smart thing to do is if I know that he's a seller at 5 and he's got 10K, right? I will tell this guy to drop down, and then I will go and start hitting these bids. I'll hit 495, 498, 497. I'll start selling. I will force them to sell lower. Do you understand what I'm doing? So I will sell this down to maybe say 450, right? And then maybe 4, and then I'll use the money I made selling it down to go and buy those 10,000 shares at 4 and save 10 grand. Then I'll pop it back up to 450 and I'll be out of it. Do you guys understand how that works? That's how you make markets. That's how you make money. Okay. That's how real traders trade. Okay. So now what you do, because you don't have verbal trading, what you do is you put a small buy order here, right? You put in a buy order for 100 contracts. And if 25 of them get filled, then you know that the seller saw some size and lifted, right? If you put a buy order for 100 contracts there and it gets filled instantly, then you know, oh, the seller's a little desperate and you can move your buy orders down. Do you guys understand what I just said? This is called sizing a market, right? You sell what you have and you buy it back cheaper, exactly. And you force the other seller to sell as cheap as you can get them to, right? This is what is going on every second of the day that you're looking at these charts. But because you guys have never sat in a market making chair or any kind of a real trading chair, you guys don't understand that this is how the market works. But once you understand that's the process that is going on, there are times where you want the large traders to work that process out, and you should not be in there. You should not be trying to incorporate the lookout bid. Okay, now why don't you want to try and do that, Nico? Because you don't have the money to do that. Okay? You're not trading with $100 million. Right? So just don't do stuff like that. Let the large traders do it. How do you let the large traders do that? Now, this is the practical takeaway from everything I've been talking about. What you do is you draw a level. For example, say you have a level here, right? Nico, you with me? Right? So you got a level here at 42. Okay? Watch the offer as it comes down to 42. Okay? There's your lookout bid, and you don't have to spend any money. Do you see the space between the bottom of that candle and that blue line? I'll make it really big. Do you see this space right here? Yes? Does anybody see the space? Or am I the only one? Did I just drop acid? Am I the only one who saw the space? Come on, guys. Wakey, wakey. Okay. So those are buy orders. Okay? Those are buy orders. Those are buy orders. Why? Boom. See, they just filled them. See? Look. Did you see that? They just filled those buy orders and bounced. Watch the offer. Watch this red line when it comes to this blue line. If the market has to put it on sale, this red line, boom, it'll just drop and it'll take out that blue line just like we saw. Right? Did you see that? It just filled those bids, tested them, filled them, and then boom, filled them again. So the people who were sitting there that had lookout bids, they saw, oh shit, size coming in, drop the bid. They did it all the way to 40. That is how markets are made. This is how the business works. Yeah, Aaron, you are always trying to, as a size trader, you never pay what they want you to pay. You always try and get it cheaper. There you go, right? So now I just saved you a bunch of money. You don't have to use your own money for the lookout bid, right? You let the size traders tell you. All you got to do is just draw a level and let them pay the dinner bill, right? You got alligator arms, right? Oh, I left my wallet at home. I'm sorry, guys. Right? Oh, I used to have this roommate. We used to call him the squid. And I remember there's an entire year we'd go out for dinner, we'd go out for drinks, and he had this $5 bill. And he had this $5 bill in his wallet for a year. So every time the bill came, he'd just go, "Oh, I only have $5." And everybody would pick up his tab. And he worked that $5 bill like a rented mule for a year. Okay? You got to be cheap like that when you're trading, especially on, like, we're down 97 points today, right? Big liquidation, right? Big liquidation, just let the large traders pick up the bill, right? Be very careful with your trades, meaning just wait. I know people hate to be told to be patient. People hate to be told to wait. Why are you waiting? But if you tell people why they're waiting, they're more likely to be patient, right? The reason you are waiting is you're letting the rich guys pick up the tab. This way, you're assured you're going to have a good night out because you don't have to spend your own money. You know what I mean? This is how you do business intelligently. This is how you're shrewd, right? Like where I grew up, I grew up with farmers, right? So people whose parents and grandparents had grown up in the Great Depression. So these guys could cut a dollar bill 25 ways. They were so cheap, right? And they taught me how to be cheap. We used to have competitions on whose dad was the cheapest. Oh, you think your dad's cheap? My dad did this, that kind of thing, right? So you be cheap. Be a stingy, cheap bastard, okay? Be like Scrooge McDuck, right? You spend a quarter and you have millions, right? Let the large idiots work these areas out. Once they do, then you just draw your balance zone and run some nice trades, okay? Till then, just relax. Don't ever be in a rush to pull your wallet out and pay the bill in this business. Do you get it? The people who make a lot of money in this business are the sneaky bastards. You guys realize that, right? People who announce their intentions and, oh, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 they generally get destroyed. I mean, unless they're an Elon type, right? But regular, normal people who work in this business are the sneakiest people you will ever meet. Okay? So be sneaky. Okay? It's your money. All right? Any questions? Right? Be a sneaky, greedy bastard. And if you come into our trading room at tradingsyndicate.org, I will teach you how to be the billionaire who haggles for a $30 a night hotel room. Right? I'll teach you how to make every dollar work so hard that it screams. Okay? I'll teach you how to be a greedy, sneaky bastard. Okay? So you can make money, right? And earn a living. Now let's see. Let's give this thing a rest. I'm going to get some exercise before my girlfriend demands to see my step counter. So I will see you guys at the next session. It'd be around 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, right? 2:15 UK time. Hey, thanks, guys. We will see you in a little bit. Stay out of trouble, right? Remember, head on a swivel, hand on your wallet. Don't let anybody steal your lunch money today, okay? See you soon. Thanks for being with me. Bye for now.